Hi guys, it's Thomas here, and today I'm going to bring you some one-card combo of the Raizeol deck. For the first one, we're going to see Ice Raizeol as our starter. We're going to normal summon him and activate his effect to special summon a sword from deck that on summon is going to add a Pyro Light Raizeol monster in X Raizeol. Now we're going to activate him in the hand to special summon itself by sending a Xyz monster from Exile to the graveyard, and we're going to activate the onboard effect to add a Thunder Fire Raizeol monster as Chilling 1 and Toad to go back to the extra deck as Chilling 2. We are not obliged to send a Toad here, we could also send something else, but having Toad means we can freely send her next turn unless we need something else. We're going to add another sword to hand, and since we special summon it from ice, we're able to special summon it with its own effect. Now we are on summon 4, and we're going to, as summon 5, Xyz summon a Traptrix Rafflesia. This helps us play around, for example, Nibiru, since we're playing in the deck Gravedigger's Trap Hole, that can negate monster effect, activate in hand or grave, or when it's banished and it triggers, like a Thunder Dragon, and deals 2000 of damage to the opponent. This is summon 5, so this insulates us from Nibiru, and this is going also to protect us from something like a Ghost Ogre on Duo Drive, or realistically an Ash, because we wouldn't have any other way to protect us, and he probably, if he has one, would for sure keep it, the handtrap for Duo Drive, and if he has an impermanence, we have still the chance to keep Rafflesia as an interaction for the opponent's turn, since we have also the Raizeol Old Thruster that is still considered a whole card, and we will control at least a Raizeol Xyz, so we could send it to pop one card. We're going to resolve our Duo Drive to add 2 cards in node and plugin. Next, we are going to special summon node, since we have Xyz monster or field or in the graveyard, and we're going to send the now spent Duo Drive to special summon from graveyard a Raizeol sword. Xyz summon using both into a detonator, and we're going to activate the effect on summon to attach one more material monster to the graveyard, and we're going to set plugin. Now this is the end board. We have a detonator with 3 material as of now. They are going to become 4 when we activate Rafflesia to send Thruster. We're going to pop a card, and the other effect of Thruster will kick in to attach a Raizeol monster, or better card, from graveyard to an Xyz. And when we activate plugin, we're going to be able to, for example, special summon X and attach another card from deck to a rank 4, reasonably detonator. So we're going to end with 5 pops and a pops of Rafflesia. Another use for plugin would be if our opponent activates like something to negate detonator, we could chain detonator to pop himself, and on a new chain we could plug in to summon him back, attach one from deck for plugin, and attach one to detonator since he was special summoned. For the second combo of the video, we're going to start with X Raizeol. We're going to activate his effect in hand and send a Toad. Activate X Raizeol 1 and Toad 2 in this case. By sending Toad, you can protect yourself from a Ash on the first name, and you put back Toad and add Sword. Since you control or have in the graveyard a Raizeol, you can special summon Sword, and if your opponent was to Ash here, you would still have the pivot to the Duo Drive. If he keeps it for later, you're going to have Araplesia, so we can safely say that only an Ash against a X Raizeol is not enough. We're going to add Ice, normal summon him, and special summon from deck another Sword, overlay both Sword into Araplesia, and the other two monsters into a Duo Drive, detach both material from Duo Drive, add a node and plugin, summon node, activate his effect to tribute the Xyz and summon back Ice from graveyard, overlay both into a Dreadnader, Dreadnader effect to attach this time the level 4 and set plugin. Attaching the level 4 and leaving the rank 4 in the graveyard allows you to activate plugin, special summon the Duo Drive, attach one to the Dreadnader, and Rafflesia can send Thrust to pop 2 cards since you have 2 Xyz. Now, in the third combo, we're going to see the last 1 card in engine starter, and arguably the worst of the 3 in Sword, Raizeol. We are going to normal summon him and activate the effect to add a Pyro level 4 light in X Raizeol. We are going to special summon X by sending this time a Raizeol Dreadnader, or just a Raizeol X's name, activate X effect to add a node. Now, we're going to overlay both into a Duo Drive and activate his effect, detaching 2, and we're going to add a Palma Raizeol and a plugin. Next, we are going to summon Node, since we have Xyz on board or in the graveyard. Node, tribute the Xyz on board to bring back from graveyard a Sword, and we're going to use both to Xyz summon a Dreadnader and activate his effect to attach Duo Drive as material. We're going to special summon Palma by shuffling the Dreadnader from the graveyard into the extra deck, and we're going to set plugin. During our opponent's turn, we are going to activate plugin. We can also wait to have some of the Dreadnader material already off. We are going to target the level 4 in graveyard to summon it and attach the old thruster to the Dreadnader. Activate X Raizeol to add a follow-up to end. And when our opponent activates a Cardor effect, we can activate Dreadnader, detaching thruster, and later in the turn we can activate thruster to Xyz summon with our 2 monsters. Here I went with a Palma because him and X are the biggest of the main deck monster, so it stands to reason that they're probably not going to be able to summon a monster and beat one of them over. For example, in this case, we're going to overlay into a Rafflesia, but we could do as well a Baguska or a Dweller, for example. In the fourth combo, we're going to see another of the target of X Raizeol that can send from the extra to the graveyard, and we don't have necessarily the need to start with him, but here with him the combo shows its true strength. We're going to activate him in hand and summon him. He is going to be Chilling 1 and Patriarch is going to be Chilling 2. Is going to send 2 heraldic beasts from deck to graveyard. And even here, if your opponent has a Veiler or a Moonlit, if he chooses to use it, you can still get to a rank 4. You're going to see. We're going to send 2 Aberconway, and even if we don't get this, we can banish 1 Aberconway to get the other one, normal summon it, and proceed into a Duo Drive. You could also play a Leon to send that and an Aberconway to add back from deck the other one, but it doesn't do a whole lot and it tends more or less to rot in your hand. We are going to activate Aberconway to add the second one to hand, then activate Sword and special summon it effect to add Ice, since we don't have normal summoned. Ice effect, summon from deck another sword, and overlay a ice and a sword into Rafflesia. Your opponent can't handtrap you anymore, unless it's a Impern. We're going to summon him and activate his effect to add 2, a node and a plugin, like usual. Now we're going to special summon node, and we're able to keep, this time, Duo Drive on board by discarding Aberconway and bring back from the graveyard a sword, overlay both into a detonator and trigger his effect. It can attach anything, so we're going to attach Patriarch from graveyard to it. We're going to set plugin, and this is the end of the combo. Now for the fifth and last combo of the video, we're going to see a one card combo with a buzzsaw shark. We're going to normal summon it and activate its effect on board to target himself and summon a fish with a different name from the deck but the same level. We are going to overlay both into a duo drive, activate duo drive effect, detach 2 to add a sword and a plugin from deck. Since we control Raizeol, we can special summon sword and activate his effect to add a pyro in X. Next, activate X in hand to special summon, send a Toad, X1 and Toad 2, add back Drake, and from X we're going to add a node. Since Drake was added to the hand, we can activate his effect to special summon it, and use 2 monster with 1 clearly of the Raizeol to Xyz summon an Xyz monster that needs to be able to detach a material right now. I'm going with Dweller since it's going to also be a piece of the end board. We are going to detach Sword from it, and is also a 2200 because it has a material that is water. Special summon node effect, send duo drive, special summon sword, and you can do a little detonator with only 2, or you can use all 3 like I do here. Effect on summon, to attach 1 from graveyard, we're going to attach Toad, and we're going to set plugin. Here we have a duo drive as target for plugin, but probably we're just going to wait to detach Raizeol or Sword to be able to activate plugin, summon them and add 1. Then plugin is going to attach a thruster to our detonator, and with that, when we use the effect again, we're going to detach that, and when we detach Toad, we're going to be able to add the Shark Drake that is not going to be under Dweller. This will trigger him, and we're going to end up with 2 monsters and the trapping graveyard. So we're going to be able, if we want, to summon, for example, a Baguska or a surprise Exiton.